Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. And in today's video, we are going to be continuing Konosuba, The Adventures of Spider-Ham, with Kazuma with Spider-Ham, Season 1, Part 4, the Season 1 finale. Now, before we get into the video, I do want to say that today's two videos are being pre-recorded ahead of time because I'm going to be very, very busy this weekend. And on top of that, it seems that out of all weeks, I picked a crappy week to want to do 2 videos a day. But to be honest, it's been really, really fun, and keeping them to around 30 minutes or under for the most part has really been a big help. So that's really the mark I try to go for with my videos, unless it's like the first part or I'm doing something really special. The range for these videos, that's going to be where I'm going to try to keep them going forward, simply so that I can tell a simple and concise story without doing too much run-on, and because it's saving me a lot of work on top of all the other stuff that I have to do. So that's why the videos are not going to be entirely too long, but I am going to try to keep them as descriptive and as fun as I can. So I thank you all for being a part of the journey. I thank you all for enjoying what we've been putting out this week and what we'll put out in the future. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into today's video. So as always, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. The people of Axel began to evacuate as quickly as they could. Between the mobile fortress destroyer that was going to stomp the village into the ground, or the menacing, flying former Verdia turned jack-o'-lantern, now derived in insanity, was going to burn the village to the ground. The people of Axel, even its heroes, all turned to those who they were familiar with. The kind of heroes you can depend on in a crisis. They turned to Kazuma and his friends. Although safe to say, Kazuma did not have any plans on fighting against the jack-o'-lantern or against the mobile fortress destroyer. But still, his sense of duty and nobility couldn't allow him to just leave while the town would be burnt and decimated. But still, they were fighting a two-fronted assault. The jack-o'-lantern was going to be here before the mobile fortress destroyer, and the destroyer was their own can of worms. Kazuma decided that he would engage with the jack-o'-lantern, that he would have to deal with it, and he would just have to leave the mobile fortress destroyer to everyone else. Thankfully, the barrier that surrounded the fortress could be destroyed, with Aqua using her powers to break the barrier. Once the barrier was destroyed, then all it would take was a combined explosive shot from Megamine and from Wiz, respectively, the two's collective power being more than enough to destroy the machine. With everyone now knowing their roles and what they were going to do, Kazuma waited on the tallest building in Axel. He sat patiently. Of course, deep down inside, he was shaking even in his pig-like state. For all the use that his powers had given him, he still felt rather inadequate. In the end, none of this made any sense at all. He was supposed to be the conquering adventurer. This was supposed to be an easy life for him after dying so pathetically. And now he was faced with potentially 2 deaths. Death by jack-o'-lantern and death by mobile fortress destroyer. But still though, as he looked out across the town, he saw the children moving to safety with their parents, the townsfolk and the people he had come to know and love along the way. Even if he didn't want to, these people still had lives. They didn't ask to be dragged into this, and whether Kazuma liked it or not, it was his responsibility. And he was the one with great power. And with great power comes great responsibility. He didn't know why, but that sounded really badass. Like something your uncle would tell you. It's like something your uncle would tell you right before he died tragically. And the reason he died tragically was because of something you did because you were irresponsible. That's oddly specific, but all the same. Kazuma stood, Spider-Ham, the protector of Axel, as the jack-o'-lantern hovered above, cackling. The flaming-headed pumpkin man, clad in green, flying on what appeared to be a glider in a circular formation. So, it seems you're not a coward, Spider-Ham. Verdia, this is your last chance, Kazuma would say. You either go back to where you came from, or else I won't be sparing you a second time. You got a lot of nerve, pig. You're gonna be the first one I destroy. And when I burn this city to the ground, I'm gonna turn you into a roast. That's just rude. While Kazuma would engage in battle against the jack-o'-lantern, everyone else in the meantime had to prepare themselves for dealing with the mobile fortress destroyer, never minding the sounds of explosions and of anarchy that was happening about all throughout the city of Axel, which quickly turned into a city of flame. Kazuma ducking and dodging pumpkin bombs and batarang bombs and every other sort of contraption that the jack-o'-lantern Verdia had to offer, swinging about and looking to counter-strike whenever so he could. Thankfully, he was able to use that technique that Aqua had, that being nature's beauty, and he was able to spew out water to counter the pumpkin bombs. Although he did end up catching one pumpkin bomb to the face and ended up knocking him through 4 buildings. Safe to say, battling with the jack-o'-lantern was a lot easier said than done. In the meantime, dealing with the mobile fortress destroyer, they weren't the only ones who were after the large monstrosity. There was also Verdia's assistant, Octodoctopus, the mad scientist turned feline cat with robotic limbs. He went following the large structure from a distance. That was true technology in this world of bumbling magic and weird, stupid hocus pocus. He never really much cared for the mystic side of things. No, Dr. Octopus Cat Man Thing, he'd get the name right one of these days. Doctopus or something, he'd make it work. In either regards, he wanted to show what the true powers of science and ingenuity could really unravel in this world. The mobile fortress destroyer, the most powerful weapon in all of the lands. If he could get his hands on it, if he could find a way to tame it, why, he'd be the ultimate master. He'd never have to take orders from anyone again. Especially that bumbling idiot he called a master. What did Verdia know anyway? The only reason he was able to parade himself like some pumpkin-looking jackass was because of his sciences. It wasn't because of his power or anything of that nature. But no, there was one person he despised more than that. You see, back when Verdia was stationed with the other generals of the Devil King, there was one person in particular he couldn't stand. A ditzy girl with obscenely large bosoms that always felt the need to try to coddle and cuddle with him like he was a teddy bear. Oh, he despised her the most, and the second he got his hands on this destroyer, he was gonna find wherever she made that shop of hers, and he was gonna stomp it. He was gonna stomp it into the ground, and then burn it, and then stomp on it again. Then he was gonna cough up and spit a hairball on it. And then he was going to stomp it some more. Then he was going to take a nap. And then he'll come back and he'll take a piss. And then, what's he going to do next? Oh yeah, more stomping. However, to his surprise, the people of Axel came prepared, as Aqua would use her powers to destroy the barrier around the thing. And then Megamine, along with that Wiz, the two of them would combine their attacks, both launching simultaneous explosions that burrowed into the destroyer, causing it to stop in place. The battle between Kazuma, the Spider-Ham, and Verdia, the Jack-o'-lantern, soon made its way to the edge of the city, right where the explosion was taking place. In the midst of the chaos and the rumblings and the confusion, everyone found themselves falling to the ground. Wait, they actually beat the destroyer? Verdia thought. Oh my god, those idiots actually did it! Kazuma would yell. He couldn't believe it. They actually did it. They won! Now with the destroyer defeated, if they all teamed up, they could actually take down Jack-o'-lantern. Verdia was now starting to get worried. He thought the city of Axel was nothing but miscellaneous adventurers and wandering, drunken, stupid fools. But if these clowns actually managed to beat the fortress destroyer, no, this town could not be ignored any longer. It was obvious that they had far more potential than they were letting on. This must have been some type of long game, pretending to be fools, and they thought they could get the drop on him. However, in the midst of everyone's thinking and of thought, a large announcement would be echoed and carried out all through the surrounding areas. The now stationary Mobile Fortress Destroyer would announce to everyone that the self-destruct had been initiated and that the entire area was, well, about to go bye-bye. You see, if there's truly one thing that can bond everyone together, friend or foe, it's the realization that you're all about to die. Well, Jack-o'-lantern wasn't going to stick around to find out. He found his broken glider and went carrying off, cackling in the distance. You idiots! You thought you actually beat that thing! Well, it looks like I'm the only one that's getting away from this thing scot-free. Wait! Master! Take me with you! Otto Dr. Puss would yell. The scientific cat feline yelled from a distance as he watched his master fly away. Don't worry about this, good doctor. I'll tell everyone you died valiantly in the name of our king. Why, you no good. Well, in either case, everyone started running for the hills. Although, truth be told, it didn't matter where they ran. When that thing blew up, this whole area was about to go. Kazuma and the others would make their way through the destroyer, with the cat doctor following close behind, being carried by his mechanical arms. They eventually found where the source of the trouble was coming from. It was the core that fueled this entire thing. It was called coronatite. It was a powerful substance. Otto Dr. Puss would then make his way inside, warning everyone not to get anywhere near that stuff, as he used his mechanical arms to assess the situation. Are you all fools? Huh? Doctor, it's so good to see you. Shut it, Wiz. I won't hear it from you. Or you, pig boy. What the? It's because of you I got turned into a pig. And it's because of you and your dumb little friends that we're all about to die. That there coronatite is one of the most dangerous substances ever created on this earth, next to tritium. Tritium? Oh yeah, tritium. I remember that. You know, he got in a lot of trouble for trying to make that stuff. The Devil King got so furious, he almost had him skinned and turned into socks. We don't talk about the tritium incident. It was so embarrassing. He kept going on and on about having the power of the sun in the palm of his hands, and when he tried to make it, he ended up burning half of the castle to the ground. That's not the point. This coronatite, it's a lot worse than tritium. Tritium is like trying to contain half a sun. Coronatite, it's like 100 million billion suns. 100 million billion, Aqua would say. Man, that's a lot. That might be worth more than 1 million. Oh my god, she's an idiot. Yeah, tell me about it. Look, that's not the point. If we don't get that coronatite out of here, when it blows, we're all going to be going to the afterlife. Is that really a bad thing? Cosmo would say. Of course it's a bad thing, Aqua would say. I don't want to die yet. This isn't how I'm supposed to get back. I'm only supposed to go back after you do your job and you defeat the Devil King. And so far you haven't been doing that. Don't go around blaming me like it's my fault. It is your fault. I'm only stuck here because you had to bring me here with your dumb, perverted logic. Oh, please, Kazuma would yell at her. Don't be on such a big high horse. You think I actually want anything to do with you? Oh, please, if you and I were the last man and woman on Earth, it would be the end of the human race because there wouldn't be a second generation. Like I would ever settle down with a muscreant like you. You smell like a pig. Well, in case you haven't noticed, Princess, I am a pig. Are you two done fighting? The cat would say. Because now we really gotta deal with this thing. I think I can get rid of it, Wiz would say. I can use teleportation and send it off, although I used up almost all of my power in that explosion. But she would grip the face of Kazuma in his spider pig form as he lifted off the mask, the two of them staring eye to eye with one another. Kazuma? Yes, Wiz? Will you let me suck it out? Absolutely. Kazuma wasn't about to ask suck what or suck where, because that wasn't the time for it. Now was the time to be serious. Thank you. No, thank you. Well, for Kazuma, he definitely got sucked. Almost got sucked dry of all of his mana, as Wiz ended up absorbing almost all of it, replenishing her power and giving her enough strength to be able to send away the Chronotite. The day was saved. The Chronotite was sent far enough away so there wouldn't be anything to worry about. The explosion went off without a hitch. They had defeated the Mobile Fortress Destroyer, and they scared off one of the Devil King's generals. We'll all be. As for Otto Doctorpuss, he was beside himself. His master had left him to die. After he had been the one to revive him, he left him to die. He would not go back. No, he would never go back. He would enact his revenge. He had a list. Oh yeah, that list. First, he was going to take out Verdia. Then, he was going to take out the other generals. Then he'll take out the Devil King. Then he'll take out the people of Axel. Spider-Ham. But before he had a chance to make any of those plans, Wiz would swoop up the cat, hugging him and cuddling him close. She was so happy to see him again. Under normal circumstances, he would have used his mechanical arms to pry her off, but her grip was ice cold and rather strong, and in the end he could do nothing but to find his face resting between two large, soft, round mounds. In either case, for Kazuma, this was more than enough excitement for one day. Everyone went back to the guild for drinks, as they were all looking forward to what was to come. The day had been saved by Kazuma and his friends. It was obvious that it was time for a party. Or at least, that's what I'd like to tell you. You see, because of the emergency request to leave, everyone had been scrambling to get to safety, and when they came back to their homes, a lot of them had been burnt to the ground in the battle between Kazuma and Jack-o'-lantern. And unfortunately, well, you see, even though he did do the city of Axel a service, the damages still had to be paid for, so they were going to have to work out a plan. But then there was another matter. You see, before all of this went down, King Pig decided to go on vacation. You see, he has mansions in a lot of areas, and he was off at the lake with his daughter and his soon-to-be son-in-law, Paul. Boo. Boo. Boo, Paul. Paul sucks. And you see, the mansion he was at, it was a rather lovely mansion. It was the mansion that he and his now deceased wife, Maria, had gotten married in. And you see, when the Chronotite got sent away, it got sent to a random location. It could have landed in the house of a duke or a lord or, God forbid, the king. but that Corona Tite landed in the home of King Pig. Now, thankfully, no one was in the home, so it didn't kill anyone, but the home was destroyed. And when King Pig found out who was responsible, well, legal action had to be taken. That's why Senna, the prosecutor, arrived to the city of Axel, as she had a warrant for the arrest of Kazuma, the Spider Ham. Besides Senna were the Royal Guard, as well as King Pig, and he was not pleased. Hi. I treated you like a son, Kazuma. I took you in. I took you in under my wing. I gave you a home. I treated you like a son to me. You're like the son I never had. But I thought I was the son you never had. Shut up, Poolie. And you betrayed me by blowing up my home. Is this the one? Senna would ask. Yes, I want him prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Well, safe to say, Kazuma found himself in chains. Magically enhanced chains, so even if he used his pig transformation, his strength alone couldn't get him free. He found himself thrown in the slammer. But he wasn't alone, because you see, he just happened to have a roommate. What the? The lumpy white figure would slowly stir. As he stretched out, multiple feathers would start to fly in every direction. He had a large orange-like beak as he fixed his raggy clothes. Hey, the name's Howard. Howard the Duck. So, what they get you in here for? I blew up the King Pig's mansion. Ooh, oh, God, no. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, King Pig? The King Pig? Well, oh my. Tell me, how do you like your bacon? What do you mean? Oh, you crossed the King Pig. When he's done with you, you're gonna be bacon, sausage, pork chops, a roast. Oh no. Safe to say for Kazuma, his journeys in this new world, they were far, far from over. And if he didn't get some help soon, Kazuma wasn't just going to be done. He was going to be well done. This concludes Konosuba, The Adventures of Spider-Ham. What if Kazuma was Spider-Ham? Season 1, Part 4, the Season 1 finale. As always, if you enjoyed today's video and everything else that we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcastings that's to come out now and in the future. Stay tuned for later on in the afternoon as we complete the final video in the Daily Double. What if Shirogane was Spider-Man? Kaguya-sama Love is War, Queen of Thieves, Season 1, Part 4, the Season 1 finale. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with PowerCore Productions and Podcastings, signing off, and I'll see you next time.